for me that we are live on my profile on LinkedIn.
We are.
Yes,
We are. Yeah.
good, lovely.
Yay!
Thank you so much. Pleasure to have all of you here with me in the room, and I want to welcome all of our friends who will be seeing this recorded or who will be joining us live on LinkedIn. I am thrilled to welcome you. And I think also we're going live on YouTube as well. So, yes. By the way, I have watch out, right? Because I have connected this group now, this little group that is growing exponentially, as you can see from week to week. I have now connected us with the Restream platform that can go. Finally, yes, we can go on multiple platforms. So we can go to Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube at the same time. So I am thrilled. For me, that is an achievement in itself. So it's a reason to celebrate. And it's also a good reason to celebrate. Thank you so much, Vinod. Because I have all of you here. As you know, Anchored in Love is a group that celebrates friendships, that celebrates connection. And when we establish that friendship, then we can create magnificent things just from the foundation of building the friendship first. So that is how all of us regard our businesses. That is how we empower our children. That is how we govern our homes, our families, and also our businesses, right? So it's a powerful thing, and also what fun thing, right? we have had some we have had some interesting conversations unfold here. So today we are talking, and I think you have all caught the title of this live talk.
I think we've all done our homework.
You have.
I think so.
So we're talking about second chances in friendships. Has it happened to you, or maybe you want to use yourself as an example, where you had to go and apologize and ask for that second chance, or a friend has come to you with that request? How do you react in those situations? Are you a yes, or are you a no? And why? And why? I would absolutely love to hear. I know someone who's always brave to go first, and I love her for it. She's my soul sister. Go ahead.
I myself did that. I myself, said things that I regretted. And the beauty of allowing us to admit it, then you reach that level of, well, first of all, you learn from it. If you admit it, you learn from it. If you kind of go, oh my gosh, what did I do? And you go and hide, there's nothing real result. So admitting, and then the result was amazing because the person actually was in tears. So to who I share, I'm so sorry. What I did was inappropriate. What I learned from that day on, after that, was when I say something and it's not right, I go, okay, now let me rephrase this. Yeah. So right then at that moment, I fix it. Oh, I correct it, I should say. So that I'm growing, and I'm hopefully who is with me sees the benefit of doing it.
Absolutely. Such a wonderful story. And I love that you shared that angle from you going to your friend. That resonates so strongly with me because I always like to, I watch for the reactions. And if I'm so sensitive to, if I have hurt somebody's feelings, inadvertently we do this. I always ask for forgiveness and then offer just to say where I came from. So, so that they know that this wasn't at all said in a hurtful manner. Beautiful example shared. Thank you, my friend. Who wants to share? And I believe you got the second chance, right?
Oh, yeah.
Fantastic.
Since then, our friendship has really cemented. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely. Well, that's what we, vulnerability and truth, that's what it does. It solidifies the relationship, doesn't it? Ryan, did I see you lift your hand?
Yes, you did. Yes, you did.
Go ahead.
Yes, you did. So I had someone come to me asking for forgiveness and a second chance at rebuilding our friendship. At the beginning, I was quite hesitant because it was like they've violated our relationship. They've violated our friendship as well. But then as I looked deeper, as I looked at myself and I looked at the fact that I make mistakes as well, I'm not a perfect human being either. So who am I to deny someone that second chance of having the opportunity to rebuild the friendship and, just asking for forgiveness as well. So after about a week or so, I called up the person and I said, even though I felt offended by what you said, I'm not perfect either. So who am I to judge you? So in the end, I forgave the person, and then like Agatha, if I could, yeah. We then built a stronger relationship based on the fact that we went to a more deeper level of our friendship, rather than just the more platonic level that we had. So I think from the aspect of knowing I'm not perfect, it helps me to give allowances to people as well.
Mm-hmm. Fabulous. Thank you so much for sharing. Beautiful. And already there's a thread coming here. When we forgive and give second chance, the relationship solidifies, it strengthens itself, right? Beautiful lesson.
May I say something on
Absolutely.
that?
Yeah.
I think it's there's another side of the forgiveness as well, and that's what it's doing for you.
Mm-hmm.
If you can imagine a person with a rope tied around their waist, and the rope extends behind them, and there are other people tied to that rope, and they're dragging these people around, and all of these people tied to the rope are people they haven't forgiven. And that gives you a picture of how it weighs you down.
Wow.
And if you could just forgive, then you set yourself free. It actually takes effort to hold on to a grudge.
Yeah.
It takes effort, and it affects you. It weighs you down. It makes you heavier.
Wow.
Totally.
Absolutely. Look at this, all heads nodding. Thank you so much for sharing. That was beautiful. Masara, go ahead.
Yes, I think it fits on what Patrick has just said. I'm going to borrow this from somebody I admired. His name was Nelson Mandela. And he said, resentment is like drinking poison, hoping that the other guy will die.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a deep one. That's deep.
That's beautiful.
That's deep.
Okay.
That's deep.
So, grudges, resentment, all these things are damaging you.
Yes.
Because we all experience something twice. First from the inside,
Yeah.
and then the smaller part is just a reflection of reality in the real world. But the big one is coming from the inside, right? So we experience everything twice. So it's very important that you look after you, and you have no choice.
Yeah.
You have no choice to be in flow than to forgive.
Yes.
What the other person does has got nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. You just forgive that person completely, and that's when the healing process starts. You heal yourself. You're healing yourself.
Beautiful.
Is it hard? Yes. How hard? Very hard.
Okay.
Right?
But the answer is yes for second chance as well.
Absolutely. It has to be. You have no choice.
Wow.
Yes. Love it. Love it. And I love the synchronicity here. Who wants to go next? Go ahead, Alison.
It helps if I unmute. I really believe that you have to be a good friend to have a good friend.
Mm.
And that means always looking at that relationship from both angles. Of would you ever expect that person to do something for you that you would not do for them? And when and oftentimes we have to show that level of our friendship first. We have to be there for them, and then they will be there for us. But how many times in life has someone been there for us when we needed them without even asking, before we even expected it?
Yes.
And so for me, the answer to this is going to be absolute yes, in the fact I would hope if I had done the same thing, what would I want the other person to do for me? That I have to do the same.
Yes.
Doesn't mean they're going to reciprocate. Doesn't mean they're going to accept my apology. Doesn't mean I'm going to forgive and forget. I'm, you kind of do have to have boundaries. Boundaries are very important in life.
Yep.
But friendship is no different than any other relationship. And if we want our marriage or any other family relationship to be serious, where better to practice that than with your family and then with your friends? Being that good friend, earning those good friendships, and then that spills out into the rest of our lives.
Beautiful, beautiful. And so in line as well with what Ryan was saying and what all of us, like the message seems unanimous so far. Mr. Knight, I will never live that one down, will I?
I won't let you forget it. My
I hope you
As a matter of fact, I'm rejecting you as a friend as of now.
I'll have to go to him for second chance. Do you think
Oh,
it's gonna be yes or a no?
you better take your Visa or MasterCard out. So I have a little bit of a different answer. Yes at times and no at times. And here's what I mean. I think it's because that was your original question. Do you say yes or no? I think it depends on the intensity. If, let's say, Katerina, you lend me a book that you consider very precious, and like an idiot, I put it in my bag, and then I go out to the shopping center and I lose my bag, and you're really pissed off at me, So of course, you're probably going to forgive me, but because what I did was unfortunate, but it wasn't a life-changing situation. It wasn't an ethical thing. But if you found that behind your back, behind your back, I'm saying all kinds of negative things about you, which is a more intense ethical, moral thing, then you might decide you don't want to be my friend. Now, having said that about the forgiveness, I think there's a difference between forgiving from your heart, where even Jews in the Holocaust forgave Hitler because they didn't want to live with resentment and anger, but you don't have to like someone. So I could forgive you, but choose not to be your friend and never see you again. And both are okay. They're just fine to do that. As long as I have forgiven you for my sake, not for your sake.
Okay.
So we'll see how you do when you contact me.
Automatically, though, forgiveness is for both sakes, not just for one.
Well, if the other one receives it, but not everyone's going to receive it.
Yeah, but lovely, good point. I love the points you bring. Vinod, go ahead, Masara, but very briefly,
Yes. It just fits perfectly well to this.
Go ahead.
2 days ago, a woman called me and she said, we met 34 years ago in London, right? On the 27th of July, 1988. And then I said, yeah, do you remember? You said you'd love me forever, but you told me how long forever will last, right? But we went through the War of the Roses, and I refused to be part of that war. I didn't join it at all. And this is why now we're on talking terms, and the kids were the only victims, as far as I'm concerned.
Yes, yeah.
They were the only victims, and it worked. I'm so happy I can say today that the kids...
They were not victims.
No, they have their own issues with it, for sure. But, I did my best. And we still go for dinner, so...
That's good. Very good. Vinod?
Yeah. After after listening to you guys, I think I'm the less experienced guy here. So let me, yeah. Let
Maybe
me
you're
share
too
a story.
young.
Yeah, I am, sir. Yes.
Comes with the territory. Then.
So let me share a small story from the epic, like from a Hinduism. I mean, the religion of Hinduism. So there is a god named Krishna. Have you guys heard of him?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Krishna. So he had a friend named Sudama, like the child friend, you know. So what he does, he was like he was poor. Sudama was a poor, and the Krishna was from, you know, from his father was king actually. So what Sudama does is whatever he brings, he just shares something, share the little amount, and rest he just uh, keep it with him only. So he does like frequent times he does, I mean to say, these type of things.
Mm-hmm.
So what Krishna does is he always forgive him. And when Sudama needed the most, like the help, when so Krishna, Krishna shared everything to him.
Mm-hmm.
Krishna gave everything, whatever he has, the whatever the kingdom, whatever the money, the palace, everything he gave to him after forgiving him
Mm-hmm.
the childhood. So
Yeah.
this is the story. Yeah, this is
Beautiful.
yeah,
Oh,
this is the biggest story, but I am trying to short this story. So this is,
yes.
this is,
Wow.
I mean, very inspiring story. If you listen to the whole story, this
Yeah.
is very inspiring.
If you don't mind sharing with us in the group, and you can go in the chat after the live is finished, and give us that story, because it is just it's beautiful. Thank
Yeah,
you
yeah.
so much for sharing that. It is it's such an honor to share with all of you this conversation, and to spark something, to spark a bigger conversation on the platform as well around this. And if you allow me, I'll just share my humble opinion, and that is always a resounding yes. If anyone comes to me asking for a second chance, the answer is always going to be yes, because it isn't my place to judge them. And I show up, and it's my choice to show up with unconditional love for everyone. And I stand by that choice. That choice involves the quality of my life, and it gives the other person the chance to elevate themselves. And if they don't hold true to that, and if we do part ways, at least I know I have given them my biggest gift that I can give them. So to me, it's a resounding yes, as each one of you have said here. And yes, some of the things hurt us more deeply, what Alan was saying. So we have to consider where we put those boundaries, right? And I think the key is in communication. The more we are
Yes, yes.
open to actually say what's on our heart, the understanding will be there on the other side.
Yeah.
But the honesty and truth, yeah, they're not easy sometimes to speak, but they are imperative.
Yeah, they're hard. They're
Yes,
hard. Yeah.
beautiful. Well, thank you so much for showing up here, and dear friends who are watching us on all of these other platforms, and whether you're catching this on a recording, do consider joining us in Anchored in Love, so that you can come here and share your perspective next time. Stay tuned and stay well, and have a beautiful week, everyone. I will see you next Friday.
Bye-bye.
Bye bye.
Bye bye. So should we leave